Good morning. It's Thursday, and today we read from Philippians 1, verse 18, the second half of 18, down to 23. Yes, and I will rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and the help of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, this will turn out for my deliverance, as it is my eager expectation and hope that I will not be at all ashamed, but that with full courage now as always Christ will be honored in my body, whether by life or by death. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. If I am to live in the flesh, that means fruitful labor for me. Yet which I shall choose I cannot tell. I am hard pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better. But to remain in the flesh is more necessary on your account. So there Paul kind of pours out his heart a little bit. Of course, now Paul did not know that we were going to number these texts and comb over them with the fine-tooth comb of scholarship for centuries. Paul just thought he was writing a letter to people in Philippi that he knew. So some of this would be a surprise to Paul. But what we see here is he fully intends, and through their prayers and with their support, he intends to put a good witness forward for Jesus, whether it's he witnesses and lives or whether they execute him. He can't really decide, to live as Christ. To die is gain, but to live is Christ. He's kind of in between. What do I do? Do I die and go to be with Jesus, or do I live and continue to suffer? Can't decide which is better, because if I continue to suffer, then more people will hear about the gospel, but I'm getting tired of this. And it sort of pours all of that out for the readers. There are a lot of people in ministry who are very tired. They're tired of the work. They don't do it all as well as they might. Some of them are not good preachers. They're good pastoral caregivers. Some of them are not good pastoral caregivers, and they're good preachers. Some of them, everybody has different sets of gifts and different levels of skill. And a lot of them are just very tired, and they would like to stop, but they can't figure out how. Or they'd like to stop, but they can't figure out exactly what that will mean for them socially and financially. They just don't know. And so they're just kind of like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And I think they can take some comfort reading this bit of Paul's letter to the Philippians, because Paul didn't know either what he should do. And I would say to you, encourage your pastor. Now, not everybody likes their pastor. I get that. Some people get mad with the pastor and disappear for years. Other people think, well, the pastor doesn't care about me, and they work up this righteous anger, and they disappear for years. Other people do have a gripe. And, if the pastor did something and you got mad and he doesn't know what he did, or she doesn't know what she did, your being mad is not going to communicate that. You need to sit down and say to them, look, you didn't say this, or you did this, or you said this, and let's talk about it. Talk about it and see if that will help the situation. Now, sometimes it won't. Some people get mad and say, I'm not coming back until you leave. And other people say, well, okay, I'll be around, but I'm not really one of your supporters. People are all over the waterfront on this. I'm just saying that if you have a beef with your pastor, he won't know about it until you tell him. And if you don't have a beef, but you have something worthwhile to say, then say it. If you want to encourage your pastor, by all means do that. And a lot of pastors they're not going to tell you this, but I will. A lot of them are struggling financially. that you think the church pays them fairly, and probably does, and probably wishes it could pay them more than it pays them, whatever level that is. But a lot of pastors are still kind of half broke all the time and don't have the cash to spend on a new suit or a new shirt or a new car, all the kinds of things that people in the church do pretty routinely. So if you can help in some of those ways, and I'm not saying go buy your pastor a new car, but if you can help financially a little bit, that'd be good. Even just a gift card to a restaurant for $20 would be welcomed by most pastors. So think about those things today, and think about what Paul says, that really for him to live as Christ and to die is gain, and that is true for all of us. So ultimately, we shouldn't be worried, but in the intermediate time, there's plenty to worry about and for us to think about. So think about that today, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.